and to do this, we might. Our agitators have connected with some Irish folk around Stepney, like Bethnal Green.
The true workers of the East End love our party, even if they fear retaliation from their Jewish neighbors. Gentlemen, we have worked hard to build support. We cannot fight the organized Jewry if we're afraid of their slums.
I just worry what might happen if we're outnumbered. Those folks have shown their violent depravity before.
So let them reveal their true nature. We'll fight back and show London who the enemies of peace really are.
The working men in London need someone who will fight for them. Your speeches along the march's route will rally the true Britons to take to the streets. This could be big for our cause.
Our national movement will be undermined if we do not address the problem at the root. Jews finance communists to fight us because both of them fear our noble cause. Decisive actions like this march will thrust us closer to a country that puts our people first.
All right, we'll plan for the 4th anniversary of the party's founding.
4 rallies in the east of London on the 4th of October. And where were the stops?
Limehouse, Shoreditch, Bow, and Bethnal Green.
Send the announcements to our newspapers. Have we any other matters to discuss?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Very well. See to it that the workers of the East End hear about the march, and make sure the police will be escorting us.
Sir Oswald Mosley and his party, the British Union of Fascists, plan a parade through London's predominantly Jewish and Irish East End. Community members are encouraged to stay home and ignore the demonstration.
It is understood that a large black shirt demonstration will be held in East London on the 4th of October. Jews are urgently warned to keep away from the route of the black shirt march and from their meetings. Jews who, however, innocently become involved in any possible disturbances will be actively helping anti-Semitism and Jew-baiting. Unless you want to help the Jew-baiters.
Workers, I urge you to stay home and ignore these violent fascists. We have no reason to turn our backs on the liberal democratic process. So long as we vote to keep them out of office and don't stir up the pot, we can cure our nation of this fascist virus.
All right, then that is settled. Next, I'd like to turn our attention to point 6 on our meeting agenda for the day, the question of the Jewish Board of Deputies being urged to take a firmer stance in defense of Jewish rights.
I thought they changed their stance last Sunday.
So what? The Board of Deputies is a joke. The Jews don't look to them for anything these days.
Precisely, we need a strong body of Jewish people to act as a driving force against the dangers confronting us. We can work with the Board of Deputies if, and only if, they actually mean to defend us and the interests of our community.
The black shirts have been intensifying their campaign against London's Jews. These Nazis and fascists could be stopped by the government if those Board of Deputies actually encourage them to. Instead, they bury their heads into the ground and ignore the real danger us Jews face.
Do you remember when the board pretended to protest the rally at Hyde Park? The best they could do was a boycott of German goods. A lot of good that did. We can't put too much faith in them.
At this time, I would like to propose a resolution outlining our united front against Mosley under the name of the Jewish People's Council Against Fascism and Anti-Semitism, or JPC for short. Before we vote, I invite any delegates to share their thoughts on the 8 points outlining our intended actions, which are written on your programs for the evening.
Just saying, keep going.
Keep it civil.
Pint, please.
Gonna get you a shot of anything stronger with that? Give you a boost to start off the evening?
Some other time. It's all I can afford at the moment.
Still no luck on the job hunt?
No, seems there simply aren't enough jobs in London.
I just don't know where they're all going. This town used to have plenty of good union jobs.
Well, the bosses are giving all the good jobs out east to make more money. I'll take a pint if you don't mind.
Guess you have a point there.
It's either bosses giving our jobs to people in other countries or people coming in from other countries and taking our jobs.
Seems like this nation's lost everything that once made it strong.
We used to be an empire. Now we don't even feed our veterans.
Seems like the whole world is struggling right now. Don't think anyone's feeding all their veterans from the Great War.
Well, that's why we have to do something about the internationalist powers that are ruining our great nation.
There really is a group of powerful people ruling the whole world right now. I don't think a barkeep's going to be much help in the fight.
Not alone, sure. But imagine the strength of a revitalized United Kingdom. The people of our country can do anything when we're united.
You mean behind that Mosley fellow?
I heard he's an anti-Semite or something like that.
Not in the slightest. The British Union has a campaign against organized Jewry. The Jews have proven to be nothing but problems for our campaign since its conception. Should we let them brutalize our poor people for global special interests? Or should we pull the weed out by the root?
If you say so, lad. Can I get you anything else to drink?
Just the one for me. Keep the change.
What's that paper?
Just some information about our party. Consider stopping by. We'd love more help in support of selling literature for the movement.
My friends, true-blooded Britons, here before you I lay out the program of the British Union of Fascists. Of the British Union of Fascists. 10 points of fascist policy for you to carry with you in our struggle. First and foremost, patriotism and revolution. Our movement holds one loyal hand to king and country, and the other stands for far-reaching and revolutionary changes in the government. We oppose flabby international revolution. The watchword of fascism is Britain first. Is Britain first. 2, action. The first necessity of the day is action. The true patriotism of fascism will carry the changes that are necessary by the principles and by methods which bring change with order and efficiency. 3, fascist organization. Fascists bind themselves. Fascists bind themselves together to serve their country in a voluntary discipline, because without discipline,
Hi, thank you for seeing me.
Let's keep this quick. I don't have much time.
Completely understandable. I'm sure you've heard of Oswald Mosley and the British Party of Fascists?
Yes. Yes, covering their events has made for some great headlines. They're planning something noteworthy soon, aren't they?
That's what I'm here to talk to you about, actually.
Really? Then this may be worth my time after all.
I'm hoping so.
So, what angle do you want us to take on whatever it is Mosley's stirring up?
Well, I'm a member of the Independent Labor Party, and I'm here to give you our prepared statement and response to the event so that you may print it for all of London.
Do you have a copy of this statement?
Here you go.
Independent Labor Party called East London workers. Say no to fascism. Aldgate, Sunday, 2 p.m. I'm not sure.
This is very important to the communities in the east of London.
Do you want this as an article in our daily?
No, we just wanted to use your printing presses for a leaflet.
Our paper tries to avoid anything too politically divisive. You haven't tried one of those lefty Labor Party newspapers.
We already have articles in the Daily Herald, but that's all we've got. Other than that, the only independent press is the Communist Party.
Well, they should be able to help you. My apologies. This is just not our type of beat to cover.
The Communist Party is already incredibly busy printing their own pamphlets in response to Mosley's march. Please, I am asking you as a fellow London resident hoping to keep our city safe.
I'm sorry. It just won't work for our printing schedule this week. Perhaps later in the week we can mention your party's holding a counter rally.
Is there anything I can do
As I said, I'm rather busy this afternoon. If you wouldn't mind, I keep a rather tight schedule.
October 4th, march with the black shirts. Join the movement to take Britain back. Mosley wants to fight homelessness and poverty. Only he can eliminate the true cause of your suffering. Read this. Learn about the future of the great British Empire.
This fella coming up to the door, this the one?
Yes. Usually has backup when he really wants to cause trouble.
Looks like he's alone.
Must not have been planning anything too bad today.
Bashing in your windows one time is enough. We don't let these swine treat our community like this. Stay here by the desk. I'll wait by the door. Just don't spook the bastard.
Hello, Mr. Emberman. How goes business, my dear friend?
Well, it's been difficult to afford the repairs to the window, but we're getting by.
That's just the unfortunate cost of business. Who's this here? New employee? No, you look like you could be cousins. Maybe it's just the nose.
No, lad. That's one of my employees, actually.
Where did you come from?
I'm from East London, of course. Don't you know me?
I might have an idea.
So you've heard of Jack Spot. And you know how I treat folks who terrorize fine Jewish-owned businesses such as this one.
I've heard some stories.
Well, congratulations, lad. After today, you'll have a story of your own.
Okay, ladies, one last demonstration, and then we're going to take a break. Remember to punch through your target. You don't want to throw a half-hearted punch when face to face with a violent Jewish woman, and those communist ladies don't hold anything back. Be ready for them. Great work. Now, before we take a break, can I answer any questions?
Oh, I don't mean this as a complaint or a criticism of this training that the party has provided us, but aren't fascist women meant to show that our movement is civil and dignified? The fighting seems out of place.
Yes, of course. As members of the weaker sex, we have a responsibility to work harder in the way our strong black shirts can't. This includes keeping up the party's public image.
But if we're learning to fight Jewish women so our men don't need to beat them up, how are we better than they are?
We aren't provoking the violence. We are only doing this training because we understand the reality of our current situation.
Those Jewish women attacked my husband at the Olympia rally a few years back. He couldn't even hit back because members of the party know not to hit women. I wish I could have been there to even the playing field a bit.
So the Jewish women get violent?
Like drunken Irishmen.
Okay, before our next meeting, it's crucial that you find a black shirt and a tan skirt for your uniform. If you need any help finding uniform items, please tell me directly.
So where do I hold my thumb when throwing this punch?
Okay, one last demonstration, but then we are taking a break. Ball your fist up like this, but be sure not to put your thumb underneath.
Oh.
Great work, ladies.
I just think we'll be able to stop them from getting far into the East End.
If they have permits, that means we'll be trying to keep cops from passing too.
I sent a letter to my borough's mayor. I'm hoping he'll have the police do something to keep the march from happening.
We can't count on that, Believing the cops will actually help us is like believing the owner of this place will come down here and sew a pair of pants himself.
So why do you think the march won't get far?
Because we'll be there blocking the streets. We've come together to strike against bosses a few times before, and what happened? We won our demands each and every time.
So we have to come in on one of our only days off?
I understand this is exhausting, but if we manage to stop them now, we won't have to fight a fascist dictatorship like they have in Italy. One day of blocking those bastard coppers will mean the safety for every Jew in the East End.
So where do we show up?
Aldgate, October 4th. Get there before 2 p.m.
I appreciate your concern and frankly enjoy the opportunity to meet with so many mayors of the East End boroughs at once.
We appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. But can we count on you to ban this barbaric march?
Or at least provide officers to defend our communities.
People in my district have seen more agitators from Mosley's fascists. They write awful things on the windows of my constituents'
But
shops.
Mosley didn't do those things. We can't revoke his rights because of things other people did in his name.
He's encouraging violence. His march and his party are a threat to the Jewish people of
It's a
East...
parade. And if the people of each of your communities don't stir up the pot, there shouldn't be any problem.
Mosley is stirring the pot. That's what we're trying to prevent.
I'm sorry, but I just don't think I've seen enough to justify such a drastic decision. You take away one person's rights, and where does it end?
If you let this march happen, where do you think it'll end?
I'm sorry, but I just don't think I can help you in this matter. Now, if there isn't anything else, I'll have to ask you all to leave my office now. Commissioner Philip Game, please. Thank you. The people of Cable Street may be planning to escalate things. We may need more support than I'd anticipated. I'd say anywhere between 3,000 to 6,000 officers should do. Thank you.
Number 9, aliens and international finance. Fascism alone will deal with the alien menace because fascism alone puts Britain first. Under fascism, no alien shall enter this country to take the jobs of Britons and aliens already here who have abused the hospitality of this nation will be sent back whence they came. Our 10th and final point, leadership, parliament, liberty. Fascism is a leadership of the nations. It is not a dictatorship in the old sense of the word, which implies government against the will of the people. It is a dictatorship in the modern sense of the word, which implies government armed by the people with complete power of action to overcome problems which must be faced if the country is to live. Remember these things which I have told you as we continue our march eastward. We are engaged in a noble struggle for the greatness of our British Empire.
Workers of East London, the Independent Labour Party calls you to join us on the streets this Sunday. Don't let the British Union of Fascists terrorize Jewish neighborhoods. Stand up against Mosley and his barbaric movement. Workers of East London, the Independent Labour Party calls you...
The Jewish People's Council is earnestly desirous to have your education wait upon you in regard to the proposed British Union of Fascist March in East London on Sunday, 4th October. on Friday the 2nd at 11:30 a.m., when a petition supported by 100,000 signatures obtained within 2 days, expressing the feelings of East London's population and the matter of the proposed march, will be presented. The deputation is in the position to support the petition by a reasoned statement, and it is our sincere hope, therefore, that in the interest of law and order, you'll accept the deputation from the Jewish People's Council.
No comment.
Mosley's march won't be banned by the city. Can we print anything else to generate support for counter-protests?
The only thing we have advertised besides protests against the BUF was our rally for solidarity with Spanish anti-fascists on the same day.
Fascism needs to be fought everywhere. We can't support anti-fascists internationally while fascists march through our own local neighborhoods. Can we afford to print an alteration for our last flyer?
Maybe a short one.
It's worth the cost. I live on the east side. The people need our support.
I know I saw counter-protest details on one of these.
Aldgate Street, 2 p.m.
I'll start the reprints now. Save the East End of London from fascism. Throng street in protest. No liberty for the assassins of liberty.
Fascist march. Stand by. Order to 3,000 London policemen. 3,000 London police will be standing by in the matter of the proposed march of Sir Oswald Mosley and the British Union of Fascists.
Rally to Mosley. Parade at Royal Mint Street at 2:30. British rights and Jewish interests. The first thing to consider when considering the great Jewish interests is that the big Jews are not fools. This is why they invariably win when they are opposed by fools.
Press from the iron. Here you are, my love.
Thank you, my dear.
Can I get you anything else before you leave?
I think I'm all right.
Do you think you'll see Sir Mosley there?
It's the 4th anniversary of the party he formed. Of course I'm going to see him there.
That's incredible. He's been on the cover of Time magazine. I hear he's so charismatic in person. I wish I could join you.
I wish you could too, but it's simply not safe for women who aren't actually marching.
But you could protect me.
We're marching through the east of London. I have no idea what those Jews and thugs and Reds are going to do. I can't even guarantee my own safety.
Oh, of course you'll be safe. I've seen you fight. Remember that one time at the Irish pub when that one Jew
Enough!
walked right...
I'm leaving now. That's final. Fascist women have an image to maintain. That's why you'll be staying home while I'm gone. Maybe next time you can join the women's drum line. Now goodbye, my dear.
Tell me about it when you get back. I love you.
What if you get hurt? I'll be worried sick all day. No, you will not be going.
Are we just supposed to let them march through our neighborhoods?
Listen to your mother. Don't give them any fuel. It won't be safe out there.
So we let them drive us out of the neighborhood. Drive us out of England. Someone has to stop them.
Our rabbi has told us to stay in and try to ignore them. What is wrong with staying in and trying to ignore
The
them?
rabbi lives in the nice part of town.
Just that nowhere feels safe anymore. We should really start saving up money so we can escape if Mosley takes power.
Or we could get out on the streets and fight back. We won't need to flee the country if we fight back against those monsters.
Taking on his whole movement won't save British Jews.
I won't be alone. Communists have been passing out flyers all day. They shall not pass. All out against fascism. Anarchists and socialists and trade unionists are all going to be there. They'll protect me and I'll protect them.
The petition against Mosley's march got 100,000 signatures. Is that not doing enough to show we don't support them?
The city still gave them the permit to march, didn't it?
You won't know anybody there.
That doesn't matter.
Let me go with you.
Why do you want to go now?
I just want to be there with you. It feels safer that way.
Okay, fine. You can go. But just to be clear, you're going so we can fight fascists, not so you can protect me. Now, where are my marbles? Bye, Mom, bye, Dad, I'll be back really early.
Wait, you just got that jacket. You'd better wear a different one. Don't mess it up.
They should be here in a few hours, lads.
How many are there? I heard the cops got 3,000 cops for the march.
I don't know about all that, but there's no fascists here and we've already got pretty good numbers.
You're not worried about the police?
Like we've never scrapped with them before. This is as good a time as any to beat up some coppers.
Well, cops can't fight harder than the Irish do.
Don't start with that talk. Mosley's coming here to turn the Irish against us Jews. I'm not looking to feed into that shit. We are here for a specific reason.
To kick the shit out of Nazis!
Exactly! We're beating down black shirts with the Irishmen. It's about time to put aside any conflicts we've had in the past. Now, let's help these lads build this barricade.
To
Sir.
action. The
Sir.
first necessity of the day is
Sir?
action. Yes.
Things are coming along nicely.
We just had a question about the formation of the march.
What time is it?
11:30, maybe 45.
So there are still hours until the march. I was working on my speeches. Perhaps this could have waited.
Yes, right. Of course, sir.
Thank you.
Actually, Sir Mosley, people have started showing up.
Huh. Well, I suppose that's as good a reason as any.
As we've organized things thus far, your motorcade will follow the drum line.
Yes, that seems reasonable to me.
We're hearing talk of those violent folks trying to stop our parade.
Yes, we've been anticipating this.
We're just, some of the organizing officers are.
We think we may need to put more force on the front end of the parade.
You don't think the police will be enough?
I think it will be wise to play it safe. I know we have some women in that drum line.
Yes, we should be cautious. Best not to expose them to the scum on the east side.
So, we have your confirmation to make the change.
Very well. Just be prepared to call them up to the front if those communist Jewish women start any trouble. I don't want our men roughing up any women.
Of course, sir.
Now, may I return to my preparations?
Absolutely, Sir Mosley. We will get this all sorted out for you, sir.
So, are you sure no one will mind?
Fascists are about to march through our streets. We need to do something. Think about our Jewish neighbors.
What will our Jewish neighbors think about us tearing up the streets we share?
There are 3 trucks blocking the same street. I don't think folks are worried about keeping up the infrastructure for a fascist march.
And we can help them fix it later.
Shouldn't we just stay out of this? This hardly affects us Irish.
Mosley wants us to turn our backs on the Jewish folks at the East End. Letting them march practically aligns you with Mosley and those fascists.
I am not a fascist. I just want to make sure we take
We
the
haven't got all day, mate.
I can't express how gracious members of the community will be.
It's no skin off my back. It's not like it's good to do nothing while fascists march in front of your restaurant.
What, British Nazis aren't the ideal market for this cafe?
I'm sure they'd love our bagels.
Maybe some matzo ball soup.
But in all seriousness, we can't thank you enough for letting us set up in here.
I hope no one needs any medical attention. I'm happy to offer the space.
That's how I feel at every march I work at. Seems like bringing medical supplies is almost like I'm asking for something bad to happen.
I think on a day like today, we all know something bad is bound to happen. Happy you're here. Do you need a table or anything?
Not at the moment.
This is Shortage. The park should be around here somewhere.
Hardly see the goddamn street signs with all this shit happening. They get so many outside agitators.
The Jews and communists have their international networks. They could have carted in these people from Russia, for all we know.
Hey! You two here for the protest?
It's more of a march than a protest.
So you two are here for Mosley.
We're not here for any one individual. We are here for Great Britain in its entirety. Mosley is just helping lead us towards a brighter future.
Come on, buddy, just tell me you're a fascist. You don't have to give me the whole bullshit spiel.
Ha, spiel! What a surprise! The violent communist uses Jew talk,
So how'd
too.
you get separated from your little Nazi march? Must be scary being out here all alone, surrounded by these evil people.
Oh, trust me, lad. We aren't afraid of your lies.
Well, at this moment, you probably should be.
These gentlemen wearing black, are they Nazis?
Indeed, they are, Mr. Spot.
You all seem to have some kind of obsession with... God!
Excuse me, officer. Have you had a chance to read this? It's an easy read, plenty of pictures.
I'm afraid we're just here to escort your lot. We're not supposed to fraternize.
I understand. I understand. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
You know, politics aside, what do you think about everything that these immigrants and internationalists are doing to our economy?
You mean the Jews or the Irish?
Well, the Irish suffer as much as some of us do, but I read somewhere that something like 3 million Jews are living in our good country now. And that half of the remaining jobs are sent to the cheap labor in the East.
3 million?
Imagine how many jobs we lost when they came.
That is troubling, to say the least.
I know. And our ex-servicemen live in squalor because of everything that these Jews and their international finance took.
Well, politics aside, I'm glad we're here protecting the real Englishmen.
Glad to be marching for and with the people.
Boy, face mirror.
Did those beasts make it to the east side?
They did.
Are the police at least stopping them?
The police are escorting them.
What?
The police are attacking the counter-protesters.
They're marching with the anti-Semites?
They are clearing a path for the anti-Semites.
Ah!
We have to break their line.
How hard can it be to rough up these pipsqueaks?
Oh, I'll have a blast, and we can arrest the fuckers the second they throw a punch.
Let them go. You'll arrest them, but not a fascist? Who do you protect?
Official police business. Please step back and move along.
Move along, so you can continue attacking and arresting my neighbors?
I won't be warning you again.
You weren't so tough. Why don't you take about 20 steps that way and see what happens? You want to say hello to those boys over there?
You are under arrest.
Hey!
What do you think you're doing?
Get your hands off me!
Be quiet. Of course, you coward.
Come on in.
Let me take a look at that gash. What happened?
The cops started yelling at us, but we couldn't hear them. They started charging us with their horses and batons.
I've heard so many stories like that. Seems like the fight so far has been against the cops and not the fascists.
Yeah, cops are doing whatever they can to clear a path for the Nazis, which I guess includes throwing me through the window of a fucking dress shop.
Knowing the cops in this town, I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah. Is a cafe before this?
Yeah. The owner donated the space so we could take care of folks in peace.
It's nice.
I couldn't agree more. You're all cleaned up. Should scab over in a few days. Just keep an eye on it.
Thank you.
You're going back out there after all that?
I have to go find my sister.
I don't think you're in any state to protect anyone right now.
Oh, no, she was the one taking care of me. Got separated from her, and then this happened. Thank you again.
Of course. And I hope you find your family. And if I see you again, it's under better circumstances.
Agreed. Cheers.
Saved by a woman, isn't that adorable?
Almost as adorable as your lot hiding behind cops and horses.
Hey.
Watch out! More of the horses are heading this way!
Son of a fucking... Let's get out of here. I don't want to get trampled.
Hold on. I've been waiting just the right moment for these. Just keep them down. I think I've got this.
I can manage that. Gah!
I feel bad for the horses, but
Gah! Did it work?
I don't know. They haven't reached him yet. Just a few more feet, but I don't know if I brought enough. Oh!
He's pinned right under the horse.
So the marbles work better than I thought they would.
I had my doubts, but they're gone now.
Oh!
The Home Secretary, please.
Office of the Home Secretary, how can I help you?
I'd like to speak to the Home Secretary directly, please. This is Fenner Brockway, Secretary of the Independent Labor Party.
I'm sorry, but it seems the Home Secretary isn't in the office at the moment.
I am in the street in the middle of this massive brawl. Please connect me to the Home Secretary.
I'm sorry, but I sincerely mean it when I tell you he is not in the office at the moment. Can I take a message for him?
Sure. Tell him that there are 250,000 people here. They are unarmed and peaceful, but they are determined that Mosley's provocation shall not pass. If you permit it, yours will be the responsibility for serious consequences.
I'll be sure to pass that along. Can I help you with anything else?
That'll be all. Please. Thank you.
Mr. Mosley,
Officer.
our officers have been holding back crowds for an hour and a half. From our reports and from what I've seen personally, holding your remaining meetings will only lead to disorder.
We aren't the ones causing the disorder, officer.
We will be revoking your permission to continue the rest of your meetings for the day.
Well, we always want to respect the principles of law and order, don't we, officer? What can we do?
Take your marchers back west. Hyde Park is far from this neighborhood. You can hold your meetings there if you'd like.
While I appreciate the recommendation, officer, we've advertised our meetings here, on the East End. I'm worried our passionate supporters might get lost.
Sorry, Mr. Mosley. Our officers won't be able to keep it up much longer.
Allow me to consult my own officers from the party.
What are you doing here? You throw that?
Throw what? I'm just trying to get to my house.
Don't get smart with me.
No, really, I live right around the corner. I'd like to go home. All this violence is really frightening me.
Get over here, you blind fuck!
No! No! Officer! No! Please! No! Stop! No!
We've decided to return to central London. Would you help us find the appropriate route?
Absolutely. Right this way.
Hey, Jack, do you see that crowd heading this way?
Nazis or cops?
I'm not sure. I don't see any horses, so they must be Mosley's guys.
They may not be good at fighting, but boy are they optimistic.
Hey, I think I see a red flag over there.
You're right, those aren't Nazis, those marchers are ours.
Can't be a good sign for the fascists.
Seems like we pushed them out.
There you are.
Hey, Vay, what happened to your head?
Oh, I'll tell you on the way home. I told Mom I'd help with the brisket.
Oh, I guess I didn't notice her prepping it yesterday. Brisket on a Sunday?
I think it's more of a, let's not try to think about Mosley and make food instead kind of brisket.
Well, if I knew we were having brisket, I wouldn't have gone to this whole protest thing. Mommy's gonna kill you when she sees that tear in your jacket. The people said no. My Black Shirt March was abandoned. On Sunday, fascism received the greatest hit it has yet had in this country.
Mosley did not pass. Barricades raised in Stepney streets. Sir Oswald Mosley's challenge to East London residents resulted in the most humiliating rout of the Black Shirts.
Street battles stopped Mosley. 3 hours fighting, then police ban. Barricades stormed, 69 arrests. Crowds were aroused to fury by the fascists' constant Jew baiting and marches into Jewish districts, and determined that the Black Shirt Assembly should not take place.
Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire e seppellire.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. This is The Battle of Cable Street by Jake Allen. Shout out Jake Allen. Presented by Co.Arts. We're a company that produces new art by young artists. Join the collective today, you know. We try to keep a non-hierarchical structure, so hit us up. I want to give a special shout out tonight to Miriam, who covered Ellie's track, who suffered an injury, so. Make sure that you come and see lots of other stuff at Theater Crude. I think that we have one more show on Friday at 7, and there's lots more fun stuff to see, so stick around and enjoy. Have a good night.